Hey everybody, Andy Kvernen here with another Cornerstone Connection Daily Devotional. One of the things over the years that our family has really enjoyed doing together is watching basketball. Of course, that's because our boys have participated in it, but also because we just enjoy the sport and enjoy sharing it together. And so during the lifetime of my kids, one of the prominent figures in basketball has been the player LeBron James. And LeBron James has been a great player, of course. King James is his nickname in many circles. And he's one of these guys that when he shows up, he's a polarizing figure. You're either with him or you're against him. You're either on his team or you're his enemy. And if you don't follow in line with what LeBron James is doing, then you better be careful because you're going to end up on the outside. I mean, he's shown that, whether it was his time with the Cavs really early on when he went over to Miami. He kind of brought his guys with him. When he went back to Cleveland, he's now out in L.A. What LeBron has asked for, LeBron tends to get. And there are times in our family where perhaps we've resisted that. We don't like to have to make decisions like that. We don't really appreciate it when people put us in a position of you're either for me or against me. And yet, there's one character in history that makes that claim, makes that demand that we really do need to pay attention to. And there's a parable in the Gospel of Luke that sort of illustrates this. And I want to read it to you, and then we'll talk about who that character is, okay? So this is Luke chapter 20, starting in verse 9. This is the parable of the wicked tenants. It says, "And he began to tell the people this parable. A man planted a vineyard and let it out to tenants and went into another country for a long while. When the time came, he sent a servant to the tenants so that they would give him some of the fruit of the vineyard. But the tenants beat him and sent him away empty-handed. And he sent another servant, but they also beat him and treated him shamefully and sent him away empty-handed. And he sent yet a third, and this one also they wounded and cast out. Then the owner of the vineyard said, 'What shall I do? I will send my beloved son. Perhaps they will respect him.' But when the tenants saw him, they said to themselves, 'This is the heir. Let us kill him so that the inheritance may be ours.' And they threw him out of the vineyard and killed him. What then will the owner of the vineyard do to them? He will come and destroy those tenants and give the vineyard to others." When they heard this, they said, "Surely not." But he looked directly at them, and this is Jesus now, and said, "What then is this that is written? The stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone." It's become the capstone, some translations say. "Everyone who falls on that stone will be broken to pieces, and when it falls on anyone, it'll crush him." Friends, of course, this is a parable about how God sent many prophets to the nation of Israel with the message of salvation, with the message of the coming of the Messiah. But each time he sent the prophets, the people rejected the prophets. They beat them. They sent them away empty-handed. Finally, the Master, our God, sent his own Son, Jesus. And what happened? Well, not only did they beat him, not only did they try to send him away empty-handed, they actually killed him. And friends, here's the reality. What we do with Jesus has everything to do with our participation in the vineyard, because what happens after they kill him? What then will the owner of the vineyard do to them? It says he will come and destroy those tenants and give the vineyard to others. See, unlike LeBron James, the presence of Jesus really does demand our participation. And either we're for him or against him. And it says here that if those that reject Jesus do so, the vineyard owner, the Father, will bring judgment on them. He'll crush them. They'll be crushed under the weight of their own choices to reject Jesus. But if they come under his authority, he'll become to them the cornerstone. He'll become to them the capstone. He'll become to them the leader who not only will exercise his authority, but he'll lead them into righteousness, into the promised land, if you will. Not the specific nation of Israel, the land of Palestine, but he'll lead them into the new heavens and the new earth. And so, friends, what you do with Jesus has everything to do with how you participate in the vineyard. Either Jesus is going to be the capstone or he's going to be the crushing stone. Notice verse 19, "Everyone who falls on that stone will be broken to pieces, and when it falls on anyone, it'll crush him." Friend, let me ask you, do you know Jesus today? Submit to his leadership. Submit to his provision. He died for you. He rose again to bring you everlasting life. All you need to do is acknowledge your sin, repent, Say, Jesus, I don't want to sin anymore, and mean it, and receive that free gift of grace found only in salvation through him. Friends, either Jesus as the capstone, he'll be the crushing stone, or he'll be the cornerstone. I invite you, side with Jesus today. God bless you, and Lord willing, we'll see you again soon on the Cornerstone Connection.